Have you ever thought about what goes into your body when you get some sort of infection? Doctors tend to use sorts of antibiotics that help break the disease down and kill it within your body to make the infection go away, just completely wipe it out. The same is used in animals that we consume: beef, swine, poultry, any of that somehow goes back and uses antibiotics. Antibiotics are used to kill infections such as hoof rot or a cut that the animal gets that gets infected anywhere on the body. In Farm News Weekly, after the Subway epidemic, where they said that they were no longer going to use antibiotic animals or meat that has ever had a trace of antibiotics, Farm News Weekly quoted from Dr. James that we could be using much worse things than antibiotics within these animals. People seem to think that these antibiotics trace back to cancer, traces back to antibiotics, heart disease, common diseases that have no meaning whatsoever to the antibiotics. There has never been a proven fact that it goes back to antibiotics. People seem to think that it can cause your offspring to have diseases such as autism, Asperger's disease. This is also untrue. In the National Farm Bureau's spokesman, they discussed that this epidemic is being fueled by people listening to the media and thinking that everything they hear is true. So, let me ask you, when you are sick, would you rather have the problem cured, or would you rather just let your body take care of it? The same is with animals. But when we consume an animal that has not been treated, there's more risk of us getting a disease that the animal had while sick than if we just treated it. These antibiotics do no harm to the animal, and it's better for both parties, because if we consume the animal, it's healthy, we can take care of it. And another thing about antibiotics is they all have withdrawal dates. Whether you use, for instance, oxytetracycline is a very common one used in animals. It has a 30-day withdrawal date. Some have 60, but the average withdrawal date for any antibiotic is 30 days. So, that being said, you will never find a piece of meat that has used antibiotics that will trace back to having the antibiotics if the federal law has been followed and they have not been butchered within those 30 to 120 days, whichever the withdrawal date is. They also talk about poultry having a longer withdrawal date because they're such a smaller framed animal. They normally take anywhere from 60 to 120 days. So, my question for you in this whole thing is, would you rather take the risk, which there is not supposed to be any, with the antibiotics, or would you rather take the risk of getting a disease through an animal that had not been cured, had not received any antibiotics, and get a disease that has carried through to you from the diseased animal? With that being said, I think that the public needs to realize that they will not stop using them due to the very fact that it is much harder to control any disease without using them as it is to use them. Thank you.